Plus a month and experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Payoff via virtual prepaid card allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Friends, if you live in Austin, Cedar Park, Kyle, Pflugerville, Round Rock, and you're tired of paying too much for car insurance, pick up the phone and call Fred Loya Insurance today. Insurance rates are constantly changing, which is why you need to call Fred Loya Insurance right now for a new and updated quote. Call now. Save money. It's that easy. Call Fred Loya Insurance at 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040 or visit fredloya.com. Remember, if you don't call, you don't save.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, El Paso,
Leander, and Silsbee, Texas,
or wherever you may be listening. This is a feel-good Friday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on AM 1300, The Zone. We got the two best words in sports. Game 7 that will be happening after the Pacers' huge win last night over OKC Thunder. Teams are being sold, and the Lakers are #1. Eric Henry of Horns 247 will be joining us at 7:34, talking all things Longhorns. Mike Craven of Dave Campbell's Texas Football will be joining us at 8:17, talking about the cover issue and Texas State. How close are they to joining the Pac-12? And we'll also preview the Men's College World Series. And I do have a take on what happened the other night. I'm your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, we've got our guy, Marcus, behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Also, if you want to voice your opinion or get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Lainey Wilson at the Moody Center, all you got to do is get over to that new and improved, always free iHeartRadio app. Use that red talkback feature as I give you the keywords of today. Well, let's get right into it, Mark, because there was so much that was going on. And it will start in the NBA. Matter of fact, first two segments will be about the NBA and all sports connected to the NBA. But last night, there was a big-time matchup that was expected to go one direction because the key player, the key participant for the Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton, was dealing with a calf strain.
All right, Rick, your back's against the wall. We know what this feels like, but everyone wants to know. Literally, right? How much do you plan on using Halliburton and how he feels tonight?
Well, he's going to play. He's obviously going to start, and we'll monitor his situation very closely and very carefully. We don't know the exact number of minutes. There's not been a minutes limit that's been put forth by our medical people. And look, we're in the finals. It's national TV. There's long timeouts, and so, we'll start the game and see where we are as we go along.
And let's just say he started the game. Mark, he was moving free. He didn't look like anything was wrong.
Whatever he taking, I want some.
Yeah.
Man, he was moving like there was nothing wrong with him.
Exactly.
And I think that I'm hoping that this is a true injury and not a mental lapse, because there's a lot of athletes that have them. And he's had every series, he's had a game where he just goes on vacation.
Yeah. Well, last night he did not go on vacation, and neither did Pascal Siakam. Matter of fact, those guys, they hooked up for a big-time play.
Jalen Williams, 16 points, throws it away. Halliburton comes up with it. Cross-court, Siakam for the slam!
It was their bench. It was their players like Obi Toppin and TJ McConnell, who has done an unbelievable job of bringing energy and bringing some hope to this basketball team. The way that they played last night let you know that they're here, and they're here for serious business. And we look forward to a Game 7 on Sunday night for all the marbles back in OKC.
Man, they said that the best two words in the world of basketball is
sports.
In all the sports?
Game 7. That's for all, winner take all.
How about good food? Game 7?
That's not sports related.
That's
all the
like,
time.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, my bad.
I'm like,
oh
my God.
My bad. I thought it was
no, it wasn't even close.
It wasn't general conversation?
No, we were talking.
We were talking about the NBA.
We're talking
okay,
about
my bad.
the NBA. Yeah.
Just checking.
Okay.
Just seeing if you were awake.
No, come on, man. There was a lot to digest when you look at what's going on with OKC. How are they going to rebound literally in this matchup, because they got worked on the boards? It is interesting to me in these particular games and these particular matchups that OKC knows if they win this game, they are the champion. And they come out and they play lackluster basketball. They didn't look sharp early. That second quarter, Indianapolis just took off from them. Indy took off from them. They were outscored 36-17. And then you could say the exact same thing for the third quarter, where it was 26-18. Those are the moments. The second quarter is the separator.
Right.
It's the separator. And then what do coaches always tell you? You got to come out in the second half and be the first one to punch. And if you don't come out and punch right away,
then you're going to get punched.
You're going to get punched. And so that's exactly what happened to them again. So they end up losing 108-91. And now people are looking at this matchup and saying, now all the pressure is on OKC now.
And not only is it on the pressure on OKC, but Indiana has found a couple of different things that are to their benefit. Now they know that they can have TJ McConnell play the middle of the offense and distribute the ball to Halliburton. That was something that they haven't done this whole series.
Right.
It took for Halliburton minutes to be cut and for McConnell to play more minutes for them to realize that he can get to the mid-range and shoot a shot within 15 feet of the basket, because that's the way their defense is designed, to try to push them out and away from the corners and make them drive. And they're not driving all the way. They're driving and pulling up. I think that's a secret weapon for them.
Well, McConnell has been able to do that pretty much his entire career. If you go back and you look at his career, where he started in the G League, played with Philadelphia, did some different things across the league, he has been that energy guy, and he's also been that mid-range guy. That's his shot.
Yeah.
I mean, he can knock that down, and he's very consistent. And one thing's for sure, he's going to give you everything that he has every single play.
Tough as nails.
Because he knows that his minutes are minimal. So go as hard as you possibly can, get back on the bench, come back in a little bit later, go again. And for him to be able to offset what Tyrese, who is actually dealing with that injury, it changes everything. It changes the perspective of it. Them going back to OKC is going to be huge on so many levels, So you start to look at this team and you say the pressure is on OKC.
Yeah.
Can they deliver right now? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hardge, the way that they played last night told me, okay, we're not afraid of the moment, and we know what to do when we need to do it. The thing about them, Hardge, is they're the youngest team in the NBA. Where's their experience? Where's the person with the resolve? The coach has got to do everything?
Well, Caruso's the only one on that squad that has a championship ring. And he is, I went from telling you that he was going to be in consideration for MVP, and he's going to be Casper the Friendly Ghost because he disappeared again last night. His plus minus was minus 33. Minus 33, and he played 22 minutes. That's not Caruso-esque.
No, it's not.
And so he needs to lock back in because just like TJ McConnell is the energy guy off the bench for Indiana, he's the same for OKC. And if he's not playing well, it's a bigger issue.
Right.
So he's got to be able to come out, lock up, be able to play, and be consistent this weekend because it is crazy. And I knew at the very beginning of the game, because in case y'all haven't noticed, they are giving they're showing player introductions as they come out for the first time in I think like 20 years. But here's the funny part about it. I knew the game was going to go one way when Rick Carlisle decided to come out to many men, wish death upon me. Like when they showed the coach and he's just standing there going, many men.
I was like, come on, man. Coach Carlisle, the oldest coach in the NBA.
He's an OG, though. Don't forget, he was a Boston Celtic. He was in the mix. Yeah. He's been around. He knows what it looks like to be a champion. He knows what it looks like to be in a game 7. He understands the significance of if he wins NBA championship in Indiana, the home of basketball, as
bro,
he said.
They're going to start calling him Mr. Naismith.
Man, they're going to do something. They're going to give him a lot of love. That is for sure. I can't wait for it. Game 7, Sunday night, and it is going to be epic.
Who do you want to win? Just say it. Listen, hold on a second. Just let this come in.
There it is, dog.
Who's going to win the game?
Who's winning it?
Call it. Say it with your chest.
I'll say it at the end of the show. We got to keep people around. Stick around to find out who it goes. Hey, coming up next, we're going to talk more NBA. Business is done for the ones at the top. And let's just say the Lakers were all about their business yesterday. We're just getting started on a Feel Good Friday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on AM 1300, The Zone.
Text Texas, followed by your message to 81530 to chat along with your favorite sports radio, AM 1300, The Zone hosts. That's Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival,
presented by Capital One,
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 19th and 20th, streaming live only on Hulu.
And you can be there
for a weekend full of superstar performances, never before seen collaborations, and once-in-a-lifetime artist moments you'll have to see to believe. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com. Get your tickets today at AXS.com. And we'll see you at our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Seeing some slowdowns in the usual spot on I-35 northbound, making that drive from Onion Creek Parkway over to William Cannon, already causing a 7 to 8 minute slowdown. But we are issue-free on Mopac southbound from Duval over to Enfield, and no delays on Highway 71 westbound from 130 over to I-35. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. Save on family favorites when you shop with digital coupons at Randall's. This week at Randall's, get Lucerne shredded, sliced, or chunked cheese for $1.47 each with digital coupon. and 93% lean ground beef for $4.47 per pound with digital coupon.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
The largest gun show in Central Texas is headed to Buda this weekend. Texas Gun Show is voted the #1 gun show in Texas. Will be at the Central Texas Fieldhouse just off Interstate 35 in Buda this Saturday, 10 till 5, and Sunday, 10 till 4. Hundreds of tables of guns, free parking, and no toll road. Do not miss it. Buy, sell, trade, and exercise your Second Amendment rights this weekend at the Central Texas Fieldhouse in Buda. For more info, visit GunShowsTX.com. Texas Gun Shows, making gun shows guns again.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you can wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
At Hannah Chevrolet, we like to keep things simple. So the price we agree on is the exact price you pay. That means no bait and switches, no absurd additions, no mandatory dealer packages that are magically added at the finance table. At Hannah, this can save you $3,000 to $5,000. Just straightforward, all-inclusive pricing, incredible customer service, and a vehicle you're going to love. So come in and together let's drive at Hannah Chevrolet or Hannah.com.
The Big Three is back this Sunday on CBS and Vice. Fast-paced, physical 3-on-3. Michael Beasley, Dwight Howard, Lance Stevenson, Frank Nitti, Paul Millsap, Mario Chalmers, Jordan Crawford, Jason Richardson, Joe Johnson, Montrezl Harrell, and more. Live on CBS, 1 p.m. Eastern.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
The Round Rock Express play here. 1300 The Zone.
Friday edition of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. Mike Hardball, Hardge, man, Mark Henry, and of course, behind the boards. Coming up in the next segment, we will have our guy Eric Henry of Horns 247. As we were off yesterday, and I asked Eric to hop on with us today to catch us up on things that he has going on with Texas football and, of course, Texas baseball. We'll also recap the nightmare inning for the Arkansas Razorbacks and what had turned into bliss for LSU. But right now, I want to get into the conversation of the Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers, news was being made during the NBA playoffs that the Lakers were being sold. And when I say being sold, I mean big time money.
Train smoke money.
For sure. And you start to think about this, and you think about the Buss family when they bought the team in 1979. All the success, the MVPs, the movies, the the turning around of it, and you start to realize that, hey, this is a franchise of all franchises. This is where they call it the Lake Show and all the different things that were happening to the Lakers. And then the news breaks yesterday that this is happening.
Sharania joins us right now. And Shams, the Lakers, they made history today, and they didn't even play. What did they do?
Kevin, the Los Angeles Lakers current ownership, the Buss family, is entering an agreement to sell the iconic 17-time champion Los Angeles Lakers to Mark Walter, the Dodgers' current owner, for a valuation of approximately $10 billion. Yes, that's $10 billion. That's the largest sale of a sports franchise ever in the world, globally. So this is a historic $10 billion figure for a franchise Jerry Buss, the late Jerry Buss, acquired in 1979 for $67.5 million. Now, 46 years later, sold for $10 billion. And the Buss family appeared poised to really hold on to this team for what seemed to be forever. But now they will be selling the franchise. I am told that Jeannie Buss will stay on even after the sale as governor of the franchise, and the Buss family will also retain just over 15% of the team. That is now going to be majority owned by Mark Walter, the current owner of the Dodgers. He also has interest in other professional sports teams like the Sparks, as well as an F1 team.
Mark, you're a resident Lakers fan.
Wow.
What was your first thought when you heard that the Lakers were being sold? Originally, they were purchased for $67 million. Now, with that came the Forum. There came some other parts of that and a ranch for the Buss family. So there were other things that were a part of the purchase. It just wasn't the team. This is $10 billion.
Yeah, I was gonna say no decimals.
No points. Yeah, but listen, that's $4 billion more than what the Boston Celtics were just sold for. The Tampa Bay Rays were sold yesterday as well, and nobody's even talking about them because all they got was a cereal box.
they got some ho-hos and a bigger sausage wrap.
Yes. So what was your first thought of this?
First, I started like, man, they didn't sell the Lakers. Like, why would you sell the Lakers? And then it said $10 billion. The Buss family, you know, God bless them. They had a great run. A really, really good run, but it's over now.
Yeah.
And you know, when big acquisitions come, there are big changes. And you was just fussing at me last week. Man, where do they do that, Mark? You can't be mad that they made a decision and it just didn't fit the player. Like, what about the company? I said, And I had the same argument for you, but this is just like you said. Whenever there's a big acquisition, big change, they are going to make differences because they can.
Right. And think about this. You know, the story of the Lakers has been that they haven't been run the best after the old man passed away. It's been the kids, kind of like the Raiders. People were saying once Al Davis left, the Raiders seemed to be in a different spot.
That's not true, though. They brought in Lake. They brought in Shaquille, Pau Gasol, Kobe.
It's been a while.
Like, I know it's been a long time.
That's the thing.
Shaquille came before, though.
Right, before they all passed.
Yeah.
This is since he's been gone. There's been some things, kind of like the Yankees. The Yankees fans weren't liking it the way George Steinbrenner, when he was running it, things were, we making moves. When his son Hal took over, they were a little hesitant. They were making some, how both of the teams that you really like are doing some really crazy things. Like the Yankees, they're doing better now.
This is sports entertainment just for me.
Hey guys, I got a quote from Jeannie Buss about this.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
Yeah, she's definitely looking at some different moves being made. So Magic Johnson was excited about it. He said that this is good, but here's the beautiful part about it. The guy that owns the Dodgers with Magic is now the owner of the Lakers. So Magic is back in somehow, some form or fashion, being back with the Lakers. So in those moves,
I wonder whose
moments,
role is more significant now, Jeannie Buss's with her 15% or Magic Johnson?
Well, it's not going to be Magic. It's not going to be Magic. Magic already said, I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing there. And so here's the other part. This is the other part that I was thinking about as we were talking about it. You start to look at this organization and the moves that are being made. Then you get a new owner. The Dodgers are probably one of the most recognizable brands that is out there now. They're international. You got Shohei, so people are watching from all over. Same thing is about to happen with the Lakers. The Lakers are the Lakers, right? But now they're about to be the elevated Lakers.
So you take new ownership and you got an investment to make that could be up around $270 million coming up with Luka.
Yeah.
You have to start thinking about, what is my future going to look like? And how do you do that? You move the existing veteran players and then you bring in players that can, give you that lift. Do you think it's more valuable to have this other than that? And that's the decision of the ownership, not necessarily the coach. The Lakers might go into rebuild mode next year.
Yeah. But
I wouldn't mortgage the ranch.
I was going to say, I don't think they'll end up being that type of squad just because it's the relevant now. You got to be, for the Lakers, you have Luka. For the Lakers, you have LeBron. You have the star power that is going to be even greater.
Right. At least to fill the stadium.
Yeah. That's good. You ain't got to worry about that.
How long do you have LeBron? He's 40 now.
He's still LeBron.
Yeah, but he's 40. That's
Tell
a
me
number.
how that
Did his minutes?
Exactly.
I'm gonna ask you. Did his minutes go down?
No.
His
Did
minutes
his
didn't go
scoring
down. But what about next season or the season after that?
Man, if ifs and buts was candy and nuts, we all have a Merry Christmas.
Well,
I'm telling
Santa
you,
Claus ain't coming
until
down that
his
chimney yet.
assists and rebounds go below 5 a game, until his scoring goes from 23 to 16, he's still LeBron. His number's gonna take a big hit at some point, but it haven't happened yet. And he's 40 and he paid 32 minutes a game.
Yeah, but we all see how that usually happens. That usually happens. It doesn't go from 25 to to 20. It usually, like you say, it goes from 25 to 16 to
But
10.
it haven't happened yet.
When the
That's
player
the whole
hits
point.
40.
Hardge was just saying.
That dude takes care of himself to be
His
able to
numbers
do that.
haven't slipped.
Exactly.
His time. Okay, his time slipped 3 minutes. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah. And the fact, too, he still draws. I mean, he said something the other day, and it went viral, and the whole world is up in arms about his comment about the rings not mattering anymore. Why are we judging people on rings? I was like, wait a minute, hold on, dog.
Wait a minute. You didn't say that when you
didn't have none. Now you got a couple.
Now you're an elitist.
Yes.
When it comes to rings.
Somebody that's not an elitist, but he's really, really cool is our guy, Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. He will be joining us next to talk all things Longhorns and an article that he wrote that you don't want to miss. We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
The earlier issue that closed down the service road of I-35 north and southbound of Highway 71 has been taken care of. Now both sides of the service road here are reopened. There's reports of an accident, though, on William Cannon Drive on the eastbound side of Highway 290 and some stop-and-go speeds I-35 northbound between Onion Creek Parkway and William Cannon. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
What up, Mario Lopez here? You know, I love me a throwback like the Staples Easy button. It's back and bringing more easy than ever. Custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Plus, next day delivery to over 98% of the U.S. Yeah, Staples, that was easy.
Summertime is officially here, y'all. Time for those road trips, lake days, and family adventures. And your neighbors at Covert Ford Hutto, well, they've got you covered. Take $16,850 off MSRP on a new 2024 Ford Expedition Timberline and $14,279 off MSRP on a new 2025 Ford F-150 Platinum. Big adventures start at Covert Ford Hutto. CovertFordHutto.com.
After a trip to the 2025 Women's Final Four, an SEC championship in their first season, and sold-out crowds at the Moody Center, Texas women's basketball is on fire. And season tickets for 2025-26 are on sale now, starting at just $100. Longhorn Nation helped deliver the first undefeated home season in 22 years. Now it's your turn to be part of the action. Bring the energy, bring the pride, bring the Texas fight all season long. Lock in your seats today at TexasLonghorns.com.
Hold up a sec. If I work today, why should I have to wait 2 weeks to get my money? With Earnin, you can access your pay as you work instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck. Get up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. No interest, no credit checks, and no mandatory fees. Because, hey, it's your money. Download the Earnin app now to get it and join millions of people making any day payday. That's EARNIN. Earnin is not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors available in select states. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
Today doesn't have to suck. Break through your day-to-day boredom by downloading Call of Duty Mobile for free and enjoy fun gameplay featuring fan-favorite Call of Duty maps, modes, and operators, plus tons of new mobile content anywhere, anytime. Available on both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download for free now. Rated M.
4th of July savings are here at the Home Depot, so it's time to get your grilling on. Pick up the Traeger Pro Series 22 pellet grill and smoker, now on special buy for $389, was $549. Smoke a rack of ribs or bake an apple pie. This grill is versatile enough to do it all. This summer, no matter how you like your steaks, your barbecues are guaranteed to be well done. Celebrate 4th of July with fast free delivery on select grills right now at the Home Depot. Subject to availability.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Jose Altuve and Victor Caratini each smacked 3-run homers to help the Astros crush the A's in Sacramento. The Texans signed former first-round pick corner Damon Arnett to a 1-year deal. Texans will have both their rookies and vets report to training camp July 17th. Pacers host the Thunder tonight, Game 6 of the Finals, where OKC will look to clinch their first title in franchise history. I'm Ron Moss.
This is Chris Broussard. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by DraftKings.
DraftKings is all about responsible gaming. It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 or older. Age and eligibility vary by jurisdiction.
Your favorite artists?
In your library.
Your favorite songs?
In your playlist.
But your favorite morning show?
They make me laugh every day. Or your favorite team in action.
Oh my goodness, he got it! Or your live local news, traffic, and weather?
Implications from coast to coast.
Yep, there's an app for all that too.
iHeartRadio.
We're not just streaming music, we're streaming moments.
Everyone wants to be here. Join the millions of Americans.
And add us to your entertainment lineup now. Download the #1 app for radio.
The free iHeartRadio app.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Our blood runs orange.
We've missed him over the last week, and now it's time to chop it up with our guy, Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. You can follow him at Eric C. Henry _ on social media. And let's get right into it, E. Before we get into all the stories on the 40 acres, I wanted to ask you about an article that you wrote about the Mount Rushmore for Coach Sarkisian and his time here at the university. Number one, he's entering his 5th season, so now we got something to base it off of. But what made you think about this to be able to write this article?
First off, as always, good morning. Appreciate y'all having me on. Happy belated Juneteenth to you and Mark. Yeah, it's one of those fun off-season pieces, Hardge, that, you got to you're looking for creative ways to come with content. And it just had me thinking, you think back to where this program was 4 years ago, right? And it's hard to envision where they are now. Back-to-back college football playoff appearances, back-to-back semifinals. So I just thought, hey, that Mount Rushmore, who are some of the people I think would be most pivotal, right? And listen, there's one name that I feel I left off that if I had to do it again, I'd give much stronger consideration to, and that's Jordan Whittington. Because Jordan Whittington was the culture builder, one of the foundational pieces in terms of building that culture, right? But for those who haven't read it, I won't give all the names, give you a chance to check it out at horse247.com. But 2 of the names I felt were crucial were Bijan Robinson and Quinn Ewers. Of course, Bijan Robinson being one of, and for the record, the criteria was I wanted people who played at least half of their career under Steve Sarkisian, right? Because, you could have been like Demarvion Overshown, but of course he played most of his career for Tom Herman. But Bijan Robinson being that first star under Steve Sarkisian, someone who's so beloved in Austin. And then, of course, Quinn Ewers. All you got to do is take the words from Steve Sarkisian's mouth himself, talking about how crucial Quinn Ewers was to getting this thing going, helping recruit players to Texas, and of course, him being the quarterback. So there's 2 other names there. There's a couple that could be considered controversial. Yep. So go check it out, horse247.com.
Yeah, man, I love the thought process of how you went about it, and the names that are on there was pretty doggone cool. And it got me thinking too, there's so many different people, but I'm glad you brought up the Jay Witt conversation, because I too believe that he was instrumental in building the building blocks in which Coach Sarkisian wanted. But let's get into it right now, because a lot of people are talking about this upcoming season and getting a lot of excitement about it. Obviously, Arch Manning gets a majority of the headlines, but Phil Steele put out his Texas roster, and Mark was talking to me earlier about it. They have Lockett penciled in as one of the guys that will be in the starting lineup, but Parker Livingston is another guy that has been getting a lot of love this offseason as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't have my Phil Steele directly in front of me, but I do get the digital copy, and I did notice that he does have Khalil Lockett as a starter. I'll work in reverse, right? Parker Livingstone, I know I've said this on the show before. It's weird that Steve Sarkisian's been a head coach now entering his 14th season, but if Parker Livingstone were to emerge and be a starter, of course, it doesn't seem that it would be that way right now with some of the names in front of him, but for whatever reason, if he were to, he'd be the tallest starting receiver in Steve Sarkisian's head coaching career of 14 years, right? So he brings a size dynamic that, quite frankly, hasn't been seen, especially here at Texas. A lot of 6', 6'1" guys, but also still a burner. Khalil Lockett, a 5-star recruit at wide receiver, seems to be hitting the ground running, picking up things really well. I still, and this is just my perspective, I still believe Emmett Mosley, the 5th, will be that 3rd starting receiver. Obviously, Phil Steele's been doing this a long time, right? We'll see what happens, but I still believe, as of now, long way to go till August 30, that your 3 starting receivers are going to be Emmett Mosley, Ryan Wingo, and DeAndre Moore. But still, no shortage of opportunities. I think the big takeaway from this for Texas fans is last year Steve Sarkisian showed finally, hey, I am willing to expand this receiver room as long as guys earn my trust to 4 and 5 guys.
No doubt. We're talking to Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. You can follow him at Eric C. Henry _ on social media. And a lot of it is being made about recruiting classes, right? Texas A&M obviously is on fire right now, but Coach Sark said Well, we'll see where everybody is in December. And I agree with that 100% because kids will decommit and commit and do all these other things. But Texas continues to have big recruiting weekends, and some of the top players in the country continue to roll in here.
Yeah, no, listen, no doubt about that, right? For me, the notable thing, if you want to talk about the past few weekends, was Felix Ojo, right? The big 5-star offensive tackle had a visit lined up to Oklahoma, cancel that. Does appear that Texas is going to be a player there. Of course, there was a running back, KJ Edwards, who is now taking his verbal commitment to Texas A&M. Listen, Steve Sarkisian has the right to be able to say, we'll see where things fall in December, because if you take a look, especially over the past few years as they've gotten this thing going, they have been able to get some late flips, i.e. a Ryan Wingo, someone who appeared maybe he was going to stay with his home state of Missouri, of course, ends up trending towards Texas, right? Xavier Filsamy, for example, who was committed to Florida, ends up flipping. So they have gotten some late flips. That is something to keep an eye on. Let me also give a shout out to a local kid really quick. Do it here, of course, on 1300. Yaheem Miami Riley, started his career at LBJ. Now he's going to play with Austin Anderson. I don't pretend to be as in the know in terms of recruiting as our recruiting guys, but all I've heard since I've been in Austin, Hardge, is about this kid that he is the next coming. His recruitment picked up once Dwayne Akina rejoined the staff because Akina was recruiting him at Arizona. People say that he has the capability to be the next type of Andrew Makuba type player. So even though it's only a 3-star, keep an eye on a local kid, Yaheem Miami Riley.
No doubt. Before we let you go, Texas baseball has been really getting after it when it comes to the transfer portal. They got an outfielder from Seton Hall. They got a left-handed pitcher from Mississippi State, infielder from Wichita State, Butler, Georgia State. They're doing some major things in the transfer portal. Things are changing here on the 40 acres, aren't they?
They are. And you had to expect it, right? Of course, Jim Schlossnagle, so, tied into college baseball and has the ability, of course, with the resources at Texas to go out and hit the portal. So it's no surprise that they did pick up some players. I'm going to tease something here. I can't give the name, but I do know that there is some talk of Texas also adding another left-handed arm to the staff, someone who, could have the capability, if he does indeed follow through and transfer to Texas, could come out in the bullpen, which would allow possibly Dylan Volantis to make the move to the starting rotation. This kid pitched in Conference USA last year. They don't know if he's going to go and make that call to the staff today. I've been hearing some rumblings that it couldn't happen yesterday. It hasn't happened yet, but keep an eye on that today / through the weekend.
I like it. That's why you get over to Horns 24/7 to get all the juice from our guy, Eric Henry, and all of his buddies over at Horns 24/7. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you.
Anytime, fellas. Appreciate it.
All right, coming up next, we're going to talk a little baseball. I'm going to give my take on the nightmare that happened for Arkansas Razorbacks and the joy that LSU is sharing right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show, weekdays at 2.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
A stalled vehicle blocks off the right lane on Ed Bluestein Boulevard southbound at Manor Road. There's also reports of an accident on the northbound side of the 130 service road around Elroy Road, causing some minor slowdowns. And some stop-and-go traffic, I-35 northbound, a 7 to 8 minute delay from Onion Creek Parkway up to William Cannon. I'm Jason Foster with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. Save on family favorites when you shop with digital coupons at Randall's. This week at Randall's, get Lucerne shredded sliced or chunk cheese for $1.47 each with digital coupon. And 93% lean ground beef for $4.47 per pound with digital coupon.
Hi, it's Sandy, and if you're thinking about getting a new car, information is power. So here is some information that can help you. There's talk of tariffs pushing used car prices up. A lot of manufacturers are holding steady or even lowering prices on new vehicles for now. It's a unique situation. It means you could get a great price on a new car and potentially more value for your trade-in. Now, how long this buyer market lasts or where to save the most money really depends on who you talk to and who you trust. Apple Leasing has thousands of active clients on the road right now, and many of them are repeat or were referred customers. You can trust our experts to help you navigate this time and make the best decision for your family. With no money down and lower payments with the Easy Lease, calling now could save you thousands. Call 512-346-9977 or visit online at appleleasing.com. Apple Leasing, the name you trust in Austin.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-813-4011. 800-813-4011. 800-813-4011.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hardworking, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
After 48 years, Factory Mattress is going out of business forever. Over $15 million worth of world-class mattress brands must be sold immediately. Up to 80% off at Austin and San Antonio's largest independent mattress retailer. Everything must go, right down to the bare walls. Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. No interest financing is still available. The Factory Mattress going out of business sale is happening now at all 14 locations. Don't miss it.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Find your iHeartRadio everywhere. There are hundreds of ways to experience iHeartRadio at home and on the go, beyond the iPhone and Android app and at iHeartRadio.com. Here's another way to connect to iHeartRadio. Apple CarPlay. Our iOS app comes alive in your car's dashboard with a seamless way to play your favorite music, radio stations, and podcasts. Developed with driver safety in mind, the Apple CarPlay interface was built for simple navigation and to limit driver distraction while making sure you can still access all your favorite content from iHeartRadio. No need to download another app. Just plug or pair your iPhone with your dash, and if CarPlay is available in your vehicle, iHeartRadio will sync automatically. iHeartRadio, everywhere you want to listen, including in your car through Apple CarPlay. Check it out for free now. iHeartRadio, anywhere you want to listen, iHeartRadio is there.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em horns.
Oh, y'all know who that is? It's your girl.
Who that?
It's your girl, Lainey Wilson. That's right. Now is your chance to get a pair of tickets to go see Lainey Wilson, September the 18th at the Moody Center. All you have to do is get over to the iHeartRadio app, the #1 preset on your phone, and of course, just tap that red microphone and leave me the keyword truck. Keyword of the day for just with a pair of tickets to go see Lainey Wilson over there at the Moody Center, September the 18th. Now's your chance to win.
I'll say goodbye.
I just want y'all to
Say
know
goodbye.
if y'all listen to the Craig Way
The
show,
last show.
make sure you get over to Craig Way's podcast as well. I was on there yesterday talking about the music survey, and I had some couple of country tunes on there that I could talk
What's
about.
your favorite country song?
Don't Take the Girl by Tim McGraw.
Oh my God!
I do it at karaoke.
Please
too.
don't.
Oh,
Please
yeah.
don't ever play that around me. My eyes, it's hot. My eyes sweat.
Yeah, don't take the girl, but you can take Jimmy Johnson, take Tommy Thompson, and his best friend Bo.
Oh God, I'm done. I'm done.
I'm just saying, man. You gotta be able to hang in there.
Listen, Devil, you need to hear the Devil Went Down to Georgia.
I've heard it. Charlie Daniels.
Charlie
I
Daniels
know
is-
exactly what you're talking about. I know.
That was rap. I don't care what nobody say. I'm claiming it. You remember Dave Chappelle?
We're not drafting him.
We're drafting.
No, we're not drafting him. It's
We
okay.
can't draft Charlie Daniels?
No.
It's Charlie Daniels.
No. I'll take Kenny Rogers first.
Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Yeah.
He was looking for a soul to steal.
That's why they made Sinners. That's why they made the movie
that's
Sinners.
true.
It was the devil was down in Georgia. You know
Come
what
on,
I'm saying?
man. I don't even want to talk to you no more.
Yeah, you know what it is. All right, let's get into it because there was some sinning going on in Omaha the other night, and I posted on my social media.
Man, you got ran hot.
I mean, it to me, it was just one of those situations that I truly believe, honestly. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be crass. I just think that this team is cursed, the Arkansas Razorback.
Oh, my Lord.
Because of this isn't the only time that they have been so close to winning a game in Omaha that they end up losing on routine plays.
Somebody put a root on them?
They were playing LSU. They
Like,
were playing LSU.
What is, oh, my God.
They were
I didn't
playing-
even think about the
Yeah,
parallel.
yeah.
But when I heard you arguing, he shouldn't have even got a pitch in the first place.
Oh, yeah, but here's the deal. There was so much that happened before we got to that point. The error at first base, everybody's like, well, we should have caught the ball at first base. Jones should have caught the ball at first base and they wouldn't have had to run. That is all very true. But Jones got a chance to atone for his mistake. Their shortstop, Aloy, he doesn't get a chance to atone for his mental mistake. But before all that, to start the inning is where it all went wrong.
This ball, KP. Like, to me, this is a no-doubter. 6-4-3. I mean, look where Milam wasn't even at the run.
The breakdown. Listen to the breakdown of all of this, the entire inning.
He rolls one over. Robinette's got it. Getting over there late, throwing behind him, and it gets past Helfrich. And Curiel is going to go to second base. Robinette, he roamed a little bit too far there, and late getting over was...
And right there, Carl Ravitch said it. As a person who's played first base, second base, shortstop, third base, left field, right field, center field, and catcher, I played every position on the field at one point in my life and pitched. So I understand the duties and the opportunities that were presented to every single person. First baseman, ground ball right there. He pulls the ball. Second baseman's already playing behind you. He's routine. That's a routine ground ball for the second baseman. Key word on all of this, folks, routine. Routine ground ball. First baseman over goes the bag. Over goes his range. Gets the ball. Pitcher's not covering first. Failed that opportunity as well. Fundamentally, everything was wrong. But the second baseman and the first baseman already know, I got the ball. You get to the bag. We'll get the out. Okay, so be it. Get to second base. The next guy walks. We got first and second. One out. Double play. Game over. Ground ball to shortstop. Routine play. And it didn't work.
This ball, KP. Like, to me, this is a no-doubter. 6-4-3. I mean, look where Milam wasn't even at the runner's lane when Fahiba decides to throw this ball to third base. Look where he's at when he decides. He's not even in the picture.
Bad all the way around. And that is the SEC Player of the Year.
He just had a brain spaz, I think.
And that's fine. But as a captain, as a leader, as the moment, you're looking and you're running through every scenario in your mind.
I see what you're saying.
That runner on second base meant nothing. Your job is to keep the next guy, the guy that was on first, to keep him off of second base because he becomes the tying run.
Right.
Everything is wrong there. But you still get the out. All right, we live to play another another at-bat. Fly ball to left field. Left fielder slips, falls down. Ball's knuckling or diving or top spinning, whatever it may be. Dude falls down. Ball hits off of him. Can't blame him because none of that happens if you turn to double play. We're getting ready to play a game last night to force another game.
And did it matter that he got to first base anyway?
No, it didn't. His run, he was the winning run. He was good. That was it. But you're put in a position to stop the game, right? Like, so everything's in a position. Well, they end up tying it up. Well, then you come and pitch a base open to a guy that struck out 5 times in game 1. But since that game, he is 5 for 9, 2 home runs, and he's their best hitter, RBI-wise, home run-wise, clutch-wise. When all you have to do is say,
walk him,
go to first. Don't even pitch to him.
Just walk him.
You know why? His run means nothing. You're setting up a situation where a force is in play and you don't have to face the hottest hitter in the game who just homered.
Right. In the same game.
Like, there were so many situational failures in there. Now, Coach Van Horn is one of the best coaches in the history of the game, and I'm not taking anything away from what he's done.
But his decisions lost the game.
And LSU is one of the best teams in the country, and they work their way to that moment.
Listen, I don't want you to get the heat. I'm gonna take the heat. Coach lost the game. You ain't never you gotta say it. Just nod your head at me.
Okay, Mark. You
All
right. You right.
Coach lost the game,
Coach
guys.
lost the game.
I'm just gonna put it out there. I would love for him to call in.
And I really hate for those players to never have an opportunity, and they got to live with that for quite some time.
Can't believe Coach didn't
Congratulations to LSU. Congratulations to Coastal Carolina. We'll talk more about that before we end the show today, because Coastal Carolina has won 26 consecutive baseball games. They ain't lost in a while, bro. Hour number 2 of the morning kickoff on a Feel Good Friday edition is right around the corner. Don't go anywhere.
This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Discover the true taste of Texas at Mom's Food, Smokehouse, and Delicatessen, where everything is handcrafted in-house, from the mustard to the bacon. Proudly featured in the inaugural Michelin Guide of Texas, they source the finest products from local producers. Visit us at 5811 Manor Road, Austin, Texas, or find them at your favorite farmer's market. Pre-order their barbecue today. Don't you keep the best delicatessen in Austin a secret. Tell them Mark Henry sent you.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Today doesn't have to suck. Break through your day-to-day boredom by downloading Call of Duty Mobile for free and enjoy fun gameplay featuring fan-favorite Call of Duty maps, modes, and operators, plus tons of new mobile content anywhere, anytime. Available on both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download for free now. Rated M.
Friends, if you live in Austin, Bastrop, Georgetown, Killeen, or Lockhart, and you're tired of paying too much for car insurance, pick up the phone and call Fred Loya Insurance today. Insurance rates are constantly changing, which is why you need to call Fred Loya Insurance right now for a new and updated quote. Call now. Save money. It's that easy. Call Fred Loya Insurance at 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040 or visit fredloya.com. Remember, if you don't call, you don't save.
If you played pickleball in regular sneakers, you know you can pay the price. They don't cut it. And Todd found this out the hard way. We have this great sponsor, Tyrell. They make the best pickleball shoes. So one day Todd is playing pickleball and he forgot his Tyrell pickleball shoes. Well, you know what happened? He got hurt. He was playing in some fancy different shoes that aren't meant for pickleball, and he learned a lesson. Tyrell has everything you need to keep your feet cool. They're tough. They're lightweight. They're so solid on your feet, and you're going to wear and tear on the court, and they're ready to go. Every detail is built to help you play better. Tyrell pickleball shoes. If you want to play longer, feel better, and stop sliding around in those old sneakers, go to TyrellPickleball.com. You can look like a pro. You can play like a pro. It's Tyrell pickleball shoes. You spell it Tyrol. Tyrell pickleball shoes, the best pickleball shoes, purpose-built for pickleball.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying for it. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Big news for drivers. Presets have landed on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with iHeartRadio. Access your favorite stations, podcasts, and playlists instantly right from your dashboard. Try the free iHeartRadio app on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and take those presets for a spin.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of a Feel Good Friday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on AM 1300 The Zone. Hour number 1, we talked about Indiana putting on that work to OKC 108-91. We get the best words in sports. Game 7 is the best 2 words in sports. I don't want to hear it, Mark. The Lakers were sold for $10 billion. What in the world are we living in where you getting $10 billion for a basketball team, and it's only going to go up? Eric Henry of Horns 24/7 joined us to talk all things Texas football and Texas baseball. But check it out. That Mount Rushmore story, you need to get over there and see it for some of the players that are on there. And we just discussed the nightmare inning that happened for Arkansas and the bliss for LSU as they move on to take on Coastal Carolina for the title in college baseball.
Hard, I would have to disagree with you about the prices are going to go up for other teams. I don't think that any other team other than New York, maybe. Boston, in sports, in basketball.
Okay, I was going to say because the Dallas Cowboys will go for more than that.
The Dallas Cowboys will go more than 10 million.
The New York Yankees will go for more than that.
And they said all the sports, so there's a soccer team.
Soccer team is
definitely
going to go.
Yeah, I'm
you
thinking
just
basketball.
Okay.
Like the value of the teams, New York and Boston, maybe.
Well, Boston was just sold. They were $6 billion.
Yeah,
they
but
were just
that's still $4 billion
behind them.
But still, that affects the whole market value because that means with that being sold for $10 million, you sell the Celtics. They're not selling for no less than $7 or $8 billion.
You're saying if one house go up, everybody in the neighborhood
is looking at it. That's right.
That's that inflation right there.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see what ends up happening moving forward with that. But talking about the NFL, the Baltimore Ravens, do we need to start believing that they can be the Super Bowl champion?
I was on the team last year.
Yeah, but you was dating. You was dating outside of your conference.
Yeah,
that's what you were doing.
I guess you can call it that.
Yeah, you were dating.
That running game just amazed me. It just like you had two people that were just running at will, and the only reason that they didn't run more is because out of fear of hurting Lamar Jackson.
Well, here's why I believe, to your point, you got the running game, you got all these different entities that are a part of the success of this, but you also have this secondary now. You're going up against guys like Josh Allen. You're going up against guys like Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, insert NFL quarter, Joe Burrow. You're going against those type. Now Aaron Rodgers is there. You start looking at this secondary that they have put together. Think about this. They got Malachi Starks, Kyle Hamilton, Chidobe Awuzie, Nate Wiggins, Marlon Humphrey, and they just went out and got Jair Alexander to solidify that secondary. Think about that. Then you also look at what Lamar looks like he's in the best shape of his life. Somebody posted, he looks like he's back at Louisville, Lamar, which is dangerous for everybody. You got Derrick Henry on the offense, in the running game. You have wide receivers like Zay Flowers. You got Mark Andrews, who needs to rebound after last season. Why are we not putting more stock into what the Baltimore Ravens are doing?
They just paid Bateman $3 million, 3 years for $40 million plus. I don't know if he was the answer, but he's the temporary solution for them. And which means Zay Flowers is the guy. So I want to see what Zay Flowers does. This is it for him.
Well, they also brought in DeAndre Hopkins. Tylan Wallace is still there. You have playmakers all around. You've got that offensive line that is one of the better ones in the league. And on the defensive side, you still got that monster in the middle with Roquan Smith, who will bust your head open. Kyle Van Noy is a little long in the tooth, but
he's
still
good.
He's still,
I still have nightmares of him at BYU beating Texas.
This team, as I look at it, how are we not talking about them more? Look, they have at left corner Nate Wiggins. He was a first-round pick. Kyle Hamilton, first-round pick. Malachi Starks, who just came from Georgia, first-round pick. Jair Alexander, first-round pick. And Marlon Humphrey, first-round pick, all in the secondary.
I can't argue with you. I know that they brought in a bunch of talent because they realized that they got scorched. And that's how Buffalo was able to beat them. If you can rely on this new super secondary, that first round secondary coaches club, whatever you want to call them, then now you can put more emphasis on trying to stop the run. I'm really looking at Baltimore. I think they made the moves to do what they need to do to beat Buffalo.
There's
I don't want to throw it over there.
First round picks all across the board. I'm talking about even on the offensive side. DeAndre Hopkins, Bateman, Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. These are all first. They're Lindenbaum, their offense. their center, Ronnie Stanley, their offensive lineman. They're full of first round picks. Like that's like having a team of 5 stars, and
everybody's a 5-star.
Exactly. Iron sharpens iron. Don't we say that every day?
Yeah.
Regardless of how many years ago that was, they were all first round talent.
Well, you have to make subtle moves in the NFL. They talk about it being a game of inches. It is a game of inches. Like you got to get 1 inch better.
No.
Sometimes you don't have to get a foot better.
No doubt about it.
And in Baltimore, they realized where they were deficient. And they went and got guys in their secondary that one can cover. And smart guys, anticipation guys. but they got a couple of killers.
No doubt.
Guys that'll come up like linebackers.
Ray Lewis ain't there no more.
No, he's not there no more.
No, not a killer. I wanted to bring this up. Don't forget, we got Mike Craven of Dave Campbell's Texas Football coming up in the next segment. But Mark, I want to transition. We're going to stay in the same conference. We're going to stay in the same division. Our guy, Shedeur Sanders, we give him so much love. We've been like, hey, he might make that team. He might do this. He might do. My man got to slow down, man. He thinks he's driving that Coda, and you can't be doing that in Cleveland, Brown.
How fast was he going?
102.
Probably in a 55 too.
In a 60.
Jeez.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this isn't the first time.
Some of these cars though today, Hardge,
they are. Don't drive them. If you cannot control yourself, don't drive them. As someone who has driven rather fast in their life, you know what I'm talking about when you got them kind of vehicles.
But that's what they for, though. You have to test them.
If
you gotta get the water out the pipes.
See if you can go over. See if you can get some time on Coda. They'll get you out there, Mark. Let you just drive as fast as you want on that thing.
Hey man, I don't appreciate you putting me out here on Front Street because by my ticket.
We talking about practice. We talking about what is going on in Cleveland for a guy that does not have the stripes on the wall yet.
He's not a starter. He's not the second guy.
Right.
But he get the most press.
Right. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Like, at this particular time, if you were trying to make a club, if you were trying to make a team, you don't want to give them any reason to not believe in you as a mature person.
True.
You already against the odds. People, they probably didn't want you. But now you've come in.
If somebody's rolling their eyes, it's like, see, I told you.
Exactly. It was just a matter of time. It was just a matter.
Told you.
And it's like, listen, we know I've driven rather rapidly at times, but
man, listen, anybody ever follow Hardge? Put it out your mind.
Don't follow me.
Find out where you going.
Yeah,
and
put
get
your
the
own
address,
GPS on there.
He gonna be there before you.
Exactly.
I think that he intentionally is trying to race you to wherever y'all go.
No,
I've never beat him anywhere.
I just try to get to where I need to be. That's all it is.
I saw him get stopped at a light, and he still beat me there.
Yeah, I made sure of that because it is a challenge to me.
I knew it.
I am the guy. Lindsay always goes, "Hey, GPS said you're going to be there at this time." I was like, Do they know who's in the car?
This is the time machine.
I try to make sure that we there early enough. Don't worry about it. We're going to get there. But I do not go without the flow of traffic. I'm rolling with the flow of traffic.
101 is excessive, man.
Bruh.
60.
In a 60?
Like, usually 60s are residential or, like, internal streets.
Bro, you are in the Midwest. You are not on... you are not on 130 where you can go 85.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like
85 is fast.
Think about it.
101?
101. And the person that was riding next to him was going 92, and it just happened to be a girl that he hangs out with. So she got a warning. He got the ticket because he was over 100. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Mike Craven of Texas Football so he can break down the cover. Sark is on it. And what's next for Texas State? Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show with Craig Way.
Tex Schramm, you'd hear him on with Brad Sham when we had the show and I was the producer for it, called Ask Tex Schramm. This was like 1987. football. Cardinals were moving to Arizona. Brad Sham is doing the show. And so he asked him, he said, well, does that mean also now there'll be a change that the Atlanta Falcons would move from the NFC West to the NFC East? The Texas response was, well, once you're on an airplane, what difference does it make?
Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival
Presented by Capital One
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 19th and 20th. Streaming live only on Hulu.
And you can be there.
For a weekend full of superstar performances, never before seen collaborations, and once in a lifetime artist moments you'll have to see to believe. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com. Get your tickets today at AXS.com. And we'll see you at our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
There's a crash on Elroy Road at the northbound side of the 130 service road, causing some minor slowdowns, as well as a stalled vehicle blocking off the right lane on Ed Bluestein Boulevard southbound at Manor Road. Looking at the drive this morning on Mopac southbound, though, no delays going from Shoreline Drive down to 183. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Bosch. With the Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer, you can conquer your construction needs, and you can powerfully break through concrete. Get the Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-888-5226. 800-888-5226. 800-888-5226.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
Kubota Orange Days delivers the savings you need for the life you love. Shop a wide selection of equipment at your local dealer, including America's #1 selling compact tractor. And get your perfect match delivered to your door. Designed for comfort and built for performance. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors. Sales ending soon. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
At Henna Chevrolet, the price we agree on is the exact price you'll pay.
I was at a Chevy dealer recently, found the car I wanted, agreed on a price, and made it all the way to the financing table. Before they mentioned the $2,500 mandatory dealer package they added. Mandatory, as in they refused to remove it. So I left and went to Henna.
For straightforward, all-inclusive pricing, come in and together let's drive at Henna Chevrolet or Henna.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
This is your home for the Round Rock Express, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone. This guy has been busy, but I want to thank him for taking the time to chop it up with us today. He is Mike Craven of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. You can follow him on social media at Craven Mike. And Mike, as we get ready and get closer and closer to football season, you guys do an unbelievable job from high school all the way up to Division I and every stop in between. So thank you and your staff. Thank you and your staff for what y'all do to recognize the athletes in the state of Texas when it comes to football. But I wanted to ask you this because the cover is always something that everybody talks about. How did you get to the point? How did you and your guys come up with the fact that Steve Sarkisian was going to be the cover boy for Dave Campbell's Texas Football this year?
Well, it was a healthy debate, to be honest with you. Obviously, SMU made that run to the college football playoff, the ACC championship game in their first year as a Power Four. But at the end of the day, we just decided Texas is going to be the biggest story in the state. I mean, Arch Manning's the quarterback. They're starting the season on the road against Ohio State. They may be, the number one ranked team in the nation when the preseason AP poll comes out. And if you look around the country, there's not a lot of head coaches with national championships. It's like Kirby Smart, Ryan Day, Dabo Sweeney at Clemson. We think that Steve Sarkisian is going to be next. It's like him or Dan Lanning's kind of the next one up to go win that national championship since day one at last year. And he also has an interesting story. And, we're writers. We're in it to tell stories. And Sarks has, one with ups, one with downs. And those are always the most fun to tell.
Well, it's also fun, too, because of the way that he's kind of positioned himself. And what I mean by that is you also did an article just recently about what is the third best job in the state of Texas. You got Texas, you got Texas A&M, but then you have all the other schools that are trending in the right direction. You look at Texas Tech,
I was
Baylor,
going to say Texas Tech. They got plenty of money to spend.
SMU, and so many other places. Like, these stories are those that a lot of people truly don't get the time to understand. And that's why I'm glad you guys write these types of stories.
Yeah, I feel like college football has changed more in the last 5 years than it had in the previous 50. And, since TCU joined the Big 12 in the early 2000s, it does feel like TCU and Baylor have been that next tier of job in the state. Texas Tech's out in Lubbock. SMU and Houston were kind of left out of conference realignment. They were in G5. Obviously, Texas and Texas A&M are the top two jobs in the state. But I think that's all changed now. I think the hierarchy is different. Texas A&M still the best two jobs in the state. But what's third? Is it TCU still? Is it Baylor still? I don't know.
What about SMU? They have a great program and plenty of money to spend, and you could always throw them in the hat.
Yeah, I think SMU and Texas Tech have really made a case for themselves because of money. And so much of this thing now is resources and what you're able to do. And, you can recruit a little bit easier, outside of markets now. I think getting kids to Lubbock is easier than ever, especially with revenue share and all the NIL money. SMU, the last time they were allowed to sit at the big boys table, they were winning national championships in the 80s. They kind of got taken out off the board. And now they're back, and everybody talks about how much money Cody Campbell has, and he's got plenty. But Double Eagle was sold to an SMU booster, right? Like Dave Miller bought Double Eagle, so I mean, obviously SMU's got more money than anybody, and so I do think the hierarchy of the state has changed. It's going to be interesting to watch over the next 5, 6, 7 years to see kind of if a team emerges to be that number 3 power in the state, or if it's just one of those where every single year is different. 1 year is SMU, 1 year is Tech, 1 year is TCU, 1 year is Baylor. I think Houston is probably the outlier there. We'll see if they're able to catch up money-wise because they have like the greatest recruiting base in the world, right, in Houston. So if they can figure out the money part, the Cougars could be a player as well.
Wow, I never even thought about it till you said that just now. Why isn't Houston better? They're in the fertile lands of all of some of the biggest athletes in the world for high school sports?
I think it's just support. I think it's just administrative support, getting their ducks in a row, making football really important. This happened at SMU for a while. Like when you go from Southwest Conference and you're playing Texas, you're playing Arkansas, you're playing A&M, and then all of a sudden you're playing Tulsa, you're playing Rice, you're playing Temple. It's just hard in a city like Houston. It's hard in a city like Dallas to get people to care, even your alumni to care. And so I think that was working against Houston forever. Was you can go watch the Astros play, you can go watch the Oilers play, now the Texans, you can go watch the Rockets play. There's just so much to do in that city that it just didn't draw the attention of the donors, didn't draw the attention of the alumni. Hopefully being back in the Big 12 helps that. You see what they're doing in basketball. Willie Fritz is a heck of a coach. Hopefully that kind of reignites the interest in the city for Cougar football, and then the money starts flowing in, and then you can compete with the TCUs, the Baylors, and the Techs.
We're talking to Mike Craven of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. You can follow him on social media at Craven Mike. They are doing the best out there because they are writing story after story about your local kids, about the nationwide and all over the state of Texas. Speaking of nation and the state of Texas, another place that a lot of people are talking about right now is right there in San Marcos. Texas State is getting a lot of love to possibly be in the Pac-12. What is the latest that you are hearing over at Dave Campbell's Texas Football?
It does feel like a matter of when, not if, that invite comes, or at least that's the optimism around it right now. I mean, the Pac-12 needs an 8th full-time member. Getting to Texas wouldn't be a bad idea. And just like we were talking about with Tech, SMU, like this is a money game now. We're moving into the revenue share model of college athletics. And while the P4 teams are going to max that out at $13 to $17 million for football, that's not true at the G5 level. And right now, they're making about $2 million a year through their media rights with the Sun Belt, which is a great conference. I think it's one of probably the best G5 conference in terms of just regionality and just kind of what old college football, college athletics used to be about. But they don't make enough money. And moving to the Pac-12, even with the added travel costs, would probably give them $4, $5, $6 million extra dollars per year. Jeez. That's huge. Like that's how you stay afloat. That's how you stay competitive in football and men's basketball and baseball and softball. And so I really love the administration at Texas State. When I first got into this career, it didn't feel like the people behind the scenes cared too much about Texas State athletics. Kelly Damphouse, Don Coryell, those guys really get it. They really want football to be the front porch of the university, and they're pushing with everything they have to put Texas State in the best position possible. And right now, that does feel like it would be in the Pac-12.
So you believe that it's a matter of time before the news is announced that Texas State has accepted the bid to be in the Pac-12?
I feel like they feel it's a matter of time before they get that invite. And I do think it's pretty comfortable to say that if that invite comes, Texas State would accept.
Wow. I can't wait. I know that a lot of Texas State fans are really excited about the opportunity because of what you said, the financial gain that they would be able to have and what's next for them. But I wanted to ask you this before we let you go. You are a UTSA fan, an alum. You believe in what's going on with Jeff Traylor. What's next for the UTSA Roadrunners?
Yeah, I think UTSA is in a good spot. The American is going to be kind of right there with the Pac-12 in terms of like what is the best G5 conference. If you can win that conference, you have a great chance of being the G5 contender in the college football playoff. You just got to be with Temple. You got to be with Memphis. And it's still a young program that's kind of building. You saw what happened with the baseball coach. I still think, they're catching up money-wise and figuring out how to be kind of a big boy kind of program in modern day athletics. I think the main worry for UTSA, and this isn't just a UTSA worry, this is for everybody in the G5, is what happens if the Super League comes, right? If the SEC, the Big Ten, and then a few other select programs like Clemson, Miami, Florida State, maybe a Tech, a TCU, those kind of programs, if they all break away and go do their own thing, does that mean that the G5 has its own playoff? Like, what does that do? Does it become basically FCS? Like, what does that do to the momentum building at Texas State, at UTSA, at Sam Houston, at North Texas, these programs. And so I think in 2030, 2031, we're going to see more conference realignment as some of these contracts run out. We're going to see a kind of different college football playoff type structure. And it's going to be interesting to see if the top 50, 60 programs going to take their ball and go home, and what happens to kind of tier 2 of FBS football and just what the future holds for it.
Man, oh man, there is so much going on, and I'm glad that you guys over at Dave Campbell's Texas Football is right on top of all things happening in the state of Texas. As always, Mike, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for taking the time, Mike. Man. I know it's been busy.
Appreciate you guys. Y'all
Tell Charlie hi.
I will. I'm going out there this weekend. I'll let him know.
All right.
There he is, Mike Craven. Coming up next, we have the World's Strongest Take, brought to you by the World's Strongest Man, right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
There's debris reported in the 2 middle lanes on 183 northbound around Techney Center Drive. Be careful if you're heading this direction. There's also an accident on Rosedale Avenue at 45th Street, and looking at the drive on I-35 northbound for some stop-and-go speeds between Onion Creek Parkway up to William Cannon Drive. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cedar Park Overhead Doors. For top-quality garage doors that won't break the bank, you can count on Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Their sales reps will find the door you want, not the one they want to sell. For the best prices and the best service, call Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Online at cedarparkgaragedoors.com.
Hey, it's Hardball Hardge, and I'm just going to say it. My license plate is cooler than yours.
That's facts. And this is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, king of strongman fame, and now the king of custom plates.
You ever see a license plate that's so clean, it makes you do a double take?
Like mine says USA WSM. Yours says XJ7BP3. What is that, a password?
That's why you roll up to myplates.com. Texas-made, full customized license plates that let you show off your style, your ride, and your swagger.
You can pick the color, the design, almost anything you want to say as long as it's legal. And it's not something your grandmother would say, hey, I'm going to have to wash your mouth out with soap.
So don't drive around with a blowing plate that says, I gave up. Go to myplates.com, use the promo code, THEZONE, all one word, THEZONE, and get up to $55 in savings. myplates.com. Don't be bored.
Today doesn't have to suck. Break through your day-to-day boredom by downloading Call of Duty Mobile for free and enjoy fun gameplay featuring fan-favorite Call of Duty maps, modes, and operators, plus tons of new mobile content anywhere, anytime. Available on both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download for free now. Rated M.
The largest gun show in Central Texas is headed to Buda this weekend. Texas Gun Show is voted the #1 gun show in Texas. Will be at the Central Texas Fieldhouse just off Interstate 35 in Buda this Saturday, 10 till 5, and Sunday, 10 till 4. Hundreds of tables of guns, free parking, and no toll road. Do not miss it. Buy, sell, trade, and exercise your Second Amendment rights this weekend at the Central Texas Fieldhouse in Buda. For more info, visit gunshowstx.com. Texas Gun Shows, making gun shows guns again.
Level up your summer projects with 4th of July savings on top brand cordless power tools from the Home Depot. Whether you're working on a fence, a planter box, or a new workbench, get the power and runtime you need with the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2 toolkit from the Home Depot for only $99 plus $139. Get 4th of July savings on the cordless power you need to make summer projects easier than ever. Right now at the Home Depot.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask like 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, partly cloudy skies for your Friday, a high in the mid-90s. Tonight's low 75. Saturday, a slight chance of a shower or storm, a high in the mid-90s. Sunday's high 95.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
iHeartRadio's got you covered for the summer. Sail on with commercial-free weekends on Yacht Rock Radio. Roll down the windows for road trips with summer playlists like Summer Classics. Or just escape into a podcast. Your summer soundtrack is already in your pocket with the free iHeartRadio app. Find your next summer preset now.
Join the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, each day from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Craig Way Show on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Special shout out to Mike Craven of Dave Campbell's Texas Football for joining us. Great stuff, as always. But right now, you heard that beat drop, and you can only hear it one way, and that's from the big fella, WWE Hall of Famer and world's strongest man. Mark Henry brings you his world's strongest take. Take it away, big fella.
Hard. You know what time it is? It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. Marcus. Back then, they didn't know me. They all on me. Well, we don't talk enough Texans, being that we are a Texan channel. But today, you're going to get your feel. Because the Houston Texans have signed corner Damon Arnett. And some of y'all might remember Damon on Hard Knocks when he got signed to the Raiders. First round pick, high first round pick. Great talent. I mean, the dude is athletic, he's smart, and he's hyper aggressive. Thus, the problem. Arnett has been out of the league since 21. He got boosted. He got booted out of the league because of all the problems he was having off the field. And, I mean, assault case after assault case, a hit and run case, a making death threat and branding a firearm. And he got caught with less than a gram of meth. Like, those are problems that are beyond my trust for a few million dollars for 1 year. I don't feel like Houston has to grasp to get good players, even take the guys that are a liability, if you will. I mean, their talent is undeniable. But when is too much? Everybody need a second chance. But if I'm paying $1 million plus, Hardge, I don't know if there's going to be a third or fourth chance, regardless of how much talent. What say you?
I mean, I'm with you. I mean, you can't be
you can't be in trouble and injured either.
I'm more onto the point of, what are you going to do to contribute to help us win? Are you dependable?
Can we rely on you?
Can we rely on you? Are you a problem Does it outweigh the reward? And
two assault cases, a hit and run case.
That's why. I mean,
I can't do it. I'm just saying me. This is my. You talk about my take. This is my take. I can't do it. Second chance, maybe. Let's talk. How much help did you get? Show me.
Show me that you spent some time in a place to get
trying
yourself
to be better.
Yeah, rehab center. Basically, you're trying to become a better person.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that's what he's done. Maybe that's what the whole thing is all about. Maybe they vetted the situation to be able to see that. Maybe he's humbled himself to the point of, man, I'm headed down a one-way street and I'm driving as fast as Shador. I can't be a part of that. I got to change my ways. People can change. We do understand that. Well, what our guy Sean used to say, redemption. Redemption is out there for a lot of people, and hopefully he redeemed himself. But as a owner of an organization, is it worth the risk reward? Is it worth it for you? And that's where you got to make the decision on.
So Marcus is
and
a
I believe,
Texas fan.
and I believe that D'Amico Ryans understands how to deliver that message because he walked those halls. He knows he's in a different position now, but he was a former player and he had to wrap his arms around players that were troubled. So maybe the leadership, D'Amico, and now that locker room. I mean, your quarterback is big in his faith. So maybe he helps that out.
Well, Marcus is a Texans fan. Marcus, how you feel about the acquisition of an outstanding corner? I mean, Damon Arnett was one of the guys that he starred in that Hard Knocks, not because off the field stuff, but on the field, he is a monster.
Well, it's been, 2-3 years?
3 years.
He played with the Roughnecks last season, so maybe it was like one of those trial runs. You see him, he hasn't been in trouble since he's been out, since 2022. So, and he played well for the Roughnecks last year. So it's like a low risk, high reward situation. So if he starts to act up, it's not a guaranteed contract. You can just let him go.
Right. That's true. That's true.
And the fact that they got a chance to see him for the Roughnecks, being in Houston, getting a chance to go to practice, talk to the coaching staff, being around to see if he has been a quote-unquote model citizen. And if that's the case, then
people
understand.
Deserve another chance.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, like, when is enough is my question. I mean.
Well, see, it's also the fact that all his stuff came around the same time.
So he was imploding.
Yeah, it was
Maybe
all
he was
within
fixed.
that 2021, 2022 point. So this is 2 years later. So 3 years later. So maybe he's repaired his. Yeah.
I mean, it's let's just put it like this. It is a trying time when you sit back and you think about the reasons why you don't sign a player as opposed to why you do sign a player.
That's horrible.
And now you position yourself to be in a spot that says, okay, let's try to figure this out, and maybe we save this guy.
And we all know that talent will give you another opportunity.
Oh, for sure. But again, there's a lot of young
crack paper in his hand.
Man, what?
And it's crazy because it's not like the Texans
He got
are hurting.
busted for meth, man.
It's not like the Texans
ain't
are
my fault.
It's not like the Texans are hurting for cornerback support. It's like they got two great young corners right now.
Yep.
So,
but he don't just have to play corner. Arnett was a thumper.
Yeah, but
come
you
and
got
hit you in the
look at the
mouth.
safeties that the Texans have.
Nah,
They
that
still got
Petrie is
Petrie.
a
They got
monster.
Johnson. They still deep at safety position. They had Bullet rookie last year that played outstanding.
Yeah.
Hey,
you make a good point. That's why you have a Texans fan on your squad.
Well, he's going to try to figure out what makes it good, what makes it bad. But as always, you're going to have to be able to get it done in H-Town because that division is getting better, and you got to do everything you possibly can to stop some of those big arms that are in that conference as well. So we'll see. Another great take brought to you by the world's strongest man. We're going to close up the show and send you to Dan Patrick. But first, we're going to talk about Game 7 and Game 1, of course, about the College World Series right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
It's the Craig Way Show.
If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
There's debris reported in the two middle lanes on 183 northbound around Techney Center Drive. Be careful if you're heading this direction. There's also an accident on Rosedale Avenue at 45th Street, and looking at the drive on I-35 northbound for some stop-and-go speeds between Onion Creek Parkway up to William Cannon Drive. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. Save on family favorites when you shop with digital coupons at Randall's. This week at Randall's, get Lucerne shredded sliced or chunk cheese for $1.47 each with digital coupon, and 93% lean ground beef for $4.47 per pound with digital coupon.
Attention construction superintendents, contractors, and event planners. If you're in the market for a temporary rental fence, call Viking Fence today. The same company that is so reliable with permanent fences can save you time, money, and headaches. Located in Central Texas since 1972, Viking is highly committed to prompt and courteous customer service. Our flexible pricing plans allow you to fix your costs or hit your budget. Ask about our damage waiver rate that will eliminate untimely chargebacks. Excellent work, great service, and an honest reputation. Call Viking Fence today at 837-6411 or visit us online at vikingfence.com. Again, call 837-6411 or visit us at vikingfence.com. When you think temporary rental fence, think Viking.
After 48 years, Factory Mattress is going out of business forever. Over $15 million worth of world-class mattress brands must be sold immediately. Up to 80% off at Austin and San Antonio's largest independent mattress retailer. Everything must go, right down to the bare walls. Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. No interest financing is still available. The Factory Mattress going out of business sale is happening now at all 14 locations. Don't miss it.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hardworking, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Hi, it's Sandy, and if you're thinking about getting a new car, information is power, so here is some information that can help you. You know, there's talk of tariffs pushing used car prices up. A lot of manufacturers are holding steady or even lowering prices on new vehicles for now. It's a unique situation. It means you could get a great price on a new car and potentially more value for your trade-in. Now, how long this buyer market lasts or where to save the most money really depends on who you talk to and who you trust. Apple Leasing has thousands of active clients on the road right now, and many of them are repeat or were referred customers. You can trust our experts to help you navigate this time and make the best decision for your family. With no money down and lower payments with the Easy Lease, calling now could save you thousands. Call 512-346-9977 or visit online at appleleasing.com. Apple Leasing. the name you trust in Austin.
You know what's faster than your paycheck? Literally everything. It's time to get your pay up to speed. With Earnin, you can access your pay as you work instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck. Get up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. No interest, no credit checks, and no mandatory fees. Because, hey, it's your money. Download the Earnin app now to get it and join millions of people making any day payday. That's EARNIN. Earnin is not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Available in select states. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Texas Longhorns.
What a great week of shows. And if you missed any part of our shows, get over to the iHeartRadio app always. And make sure you go over to our podcast page, type in the Kickoff, search for AM 1300 Zone. Reset us, put us as number 1, put our podcast as number 2, or vice versa, how you want to break it down. Also, make sure you follow us on all of our social medias at Hardball Hardge, at the Mark Henry, and of course at AM 1300 The Zone. Big weekend in sports is going to continue to roll on. We'll be talking Major League Baseball next week. Chipper Jones will be joining us next week to talk all things Major League Baseball, all-star games. Draft is coming up. We'll talk about that. The NBA draft is happening, but this weekend we have the NBA Finals Game 7 on Sunday, so we'll be talking about that on Monday. There's so much to get into, but I want you to hear from Coastal Carolina's head coach. Now, understand this. Coastal Carolina hadn't lost in, I believe, like 2 months. They've won 26 straight ball games. And the way that they go about it is they handle business. They do the fundamental things. They don't have to hit a lot of home runs. They'll bunt a guy over. They'll hit and run. They play solid defense. And as we hear in most sports, they take what the other team gives them.
Well, it starts with frees. Today we were able to earn 10 frees, 6 walks, 4 hit by pitches. That's where it starts. We've got to earn frees. I thought we ran the bases exceptionally well. It was bang, bang at third. Wells, going first to third on that hit. Tip your hat to their right fielder. But Blake Barthel coming through with that big 2-out hit right there after they got the big inning, something we've done a great job of. I think it's 12 straight games in a row. We haven't given up a big inning. We give up a big inning to Louisville today. And you got to give them credit. They got, they got 2 infield hits that we just couldn't get our glove to. And then they get 2 2-out hits in a row. The bottom of their order got 2 2-out hits in a row to get them that third run. It's a big deal in our program is winning that big inning war. And, even though we were up 6-0, all we were talking about was we're up 1-0. We're up 1-0 in the big inning war. And then, Dean Mijo's coming through, getting that big 2-out double to get us that 7th run. Again, that 7 run, that scoring first, winning the big inning war, and getting to 7 are 3 really important parts of our offense.
And now they get a chance to go after it against a team in LSU that have found a way to get it done all season long. Pretty cool story about this. Obviously, they haven't lost since April the 15th, by the way. We're in June. We're in June. They haven't lost since April the 15th. But as these things happen, I was fortunate enough to be a part of Peak Events. Peak Events is the group that puts together preseason or opening season tournaments at the very beginning of the year that puts together a field of teams that make you feel like you're playing in the College World Series. Their hashtag is the best outside of Omaha. They wanted you to feel like you were in a regional or you were at the World Series.
Okay.
Coastal Carolina was in the tournament in Jacksonville. They won the tournament. LSU was in the tournament in Frisco that I was a part of. They won the tournament. So 2 champions out of the peak event are now playing for the national championship. Peak Events does an excellent job. Texas played in a peak event in Las Vegas. They won the tournament. So there are moments in time where you get a chance to, especially for me being a baseball person, I pay attention to all these tournaments that I get a chance to call all these games with. Saw LSU, knew they were solid. Defensively, probably one of the better teams out there. Pitching-wise, they had to get it figured out. But hitting, and Jay Johnson does an excellent job at the plate with his hitters. Oregon State was another one of those teams that was part of it. They played here in Round Rock that I got a chance to see early in the season. So throughout these times, and Arkansas won a few years ago the Round Rock Classic. I've got a chance to call Arkansas games. Point being, throughout these seasons, this is what everybody talks about. The finals. You're getting ready to be in the final for the College World Series, and then baseball season's over. Obviously, the sports calendar will be over for college athletes after this series this weekend. So what an exciting time for both of these teams. But also, we have the NBA Game 7. And Tyrese Halliburton, who I don't know what kind of miracle juice he had, but he went out there and acted like nothing was wrong. I don't even know if he had a sleeve on. He was just out there getting it done.
Dealing.
And now he believes, hey, you got to play Game 7.
You know, it's a 1-game series now, and, man, we believe. You know, we got a lot of faith in this group. So take care of our bodies, get ready, and Game 7 NBA Finals, what more can you ask for?
Nothing else. We'll see you on Sunday.
We see you on Sunday. Nothing else. And that's what it's all about. You start to think about how we get to these points and those moments that you can have. This is where it happens. Game 7. Who calls it? You asked me earlier. I believe that Indiana wins the game.
I do too.
I believe that Indiana, OKC let this slip. They let this slip, and I'm going to switch. Never mind.
No, it's too late.
No, I'm switching.
It's too late.
Delete that.
I'm not.
I'm going the opposite.
Marcus, you should have had that breaking news thing ready, because I'm going to tell you what, it's breaking news whenever me and Hardge agree.
Yeah.
And he just said he's trying to take it back.
I'm taking it back.
No takey backies. Or however you said, no backy takeys. I can't remember. But it's been a long time. But anyway, you can't take it back. You said Indiana, I'm saying Indiana.
Oh, man. Then that means that
I'm not wrong very often.
Well, what?
If I was a gambler, I'd be so rich.
Yeah, that's the reason why you don't gamble, because you know better. I can't believe we both got in there.
Yeah.
That means that
You hear that, Lindsay?
That means OKC is winning. That means OKC is winning.
Oh no, I'm good luck, man. I've been a winner at everything.
What?
I'm a post
I played
today.
fantasy football with you, right?
Well, I didn't win in fantasy because that's fantasy. That's not real.
That's not real. Those players that are participating
the real
are real.
stuff.
Those guys that were participating, I was in. I want to thank Marcus for doing a great job all week. I want to thank Andrew Zimmel for sitting in for us this past week. But I want to thank Mark Henry for doing his thing as always. And I want to thank you, the people. Don't forget, tune in this afternoon for the Craig Way Show. You know it's going to be great. We are going to be ready to go on Monday, so be excited, get ready, tell all your friends to tune in to the morning kickoff. And just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Have a great weekend. Peace. Summertime is officially here, y'all. Time for those road trips, lake days, and family adventures.